Alright, what is up YouTube? So this video is going to be one of the most important videos that I've ever made. I mean, every video is extremely important, right? I am focused on YouTube for a reason, is because there's a couple things that I've learned over the years that I have found have saved me a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of troubles. And it's like the best way that I know how to give back at scale. Well, I mean, even that can get diluted, right? Because there's nothing quite like being in person and one-on-one support. Nonetheless, there are YouTube videos, there are trainings that have changed my life, that have come through a recording someone has done. And that is what this is gonna be, okay? So this is gonna be a mini training that is just a concept that I have known about for literally the past 7 years. Yet even every single day, I still come back to it and I still focus on it. It's helped me to make a lot of money. It's helped me to have an awesome relationship. It's helped me to make a substantial impact in my community. And I'm still really, in the grand scheme of things, just getting started, okay? And what this is gonna be about is about helping you hone in what is your focus and what are you actually focused on throughout the day, as well as I'll bring up a few things that can sidetrack us because there are so many ways that you can get off balance, especially when you're going at a high speed. It's one thing, to be focused on your goals when you don't have much responsibility, or you don't have multiple relationships of important people that you have to keep tabs on, or you don't have a family with kids, or you don't have a business that's doing a lot of money every single month, every single day. So it's one thing when you're at a low level of responsibility. Nonetheless, it's still super important. It's actually critical for you to be able to get to that next level. But even if you already are in a position where you already have a lot that's going well for you, nonetheless, a master is a master of the basics, okay? So I'm gonna allude to this through a story that encapsulates this very, very well. You may have heard stories like this before, but I'll just share it with a new twist, because there's a really important piece that really everyone else out there is missing, and they underestimate just how much you can sabotage yourself. So with that being said, okay, what I want you to do is look at success, and having success in the world system, let's call it, is you gotta ride and drive at a certain speed, okay? If you're Walmart, you're open 24/7, you got delivery trucks going all the time, you got warehouses, all of that. That's like 24/7, boom, you're on. It's like fireworks all the time. And then imagine you're some person just trying to get your hobby off the ground, or you want to start a nonprofit, or you want to support kids after school or whatever. It's like, whatever the thing is that you're trying to do, you're gonna have, there's a certain level of momentum that has to build. So this is how you can think about that momentum, okay? So let's use this analogy of you're driving around a racetrack. And the goal is you go really fast and you're in first place the whole time. And first place to you, again, could be you're the best person on your street at supporting the local kids to get smarter. Or you run the best company, or you, whatever it is, but where you're operating at the best level. And it doesn't mean like ruthless, heartless competition. Even though it could be that, this would apply to that too. But this is really like you're operating at your best, okay? So you're taking laps and you're racing. But like all good racers know, everyone who is very good knows how to operate at a high speed, but they know how to operate with really it's greatness, which I would define greatness as coolness under pressure and staying focused on what you want under pressure. So one of the things that they teach race car drivers is that when you're operating, especially at the high speed, you have to focus on the road. But what's so fascinating is that people that will operate at this level, especially during training, they will have this tendency, it's a subconscious thing, it's not conscious, you're unaware of it, where you'll have a spin out. And it could be from your own doing, you took a turn too sharp. It could be that your own car screws up, or someone next to you is just swerving, and then you swerve, all of a sudden you spin out. In that moment, that's where it really counts, is when you're spinning and spinning and spinning. What happens then? It's one thing, because if you're just at a standstill or you're going 10 miles an hour, you can't even spin out. But when you're going fast and you're out there, you're putting yourself out there, you're really building, you're really going out there, making a difference, right? Or you might think you're making a difference, but like you're really out there. In those moments when you get hit with something, how do you handle it? And most people, especially in racing, they will actually focus on the wall because they don't want to hit the wall, but it's a subconscious point where you focus on what you don't want. You're starting to see what I'm laying down here. right? It's a focus on what you don't want to have happen. And then the risk is that you then go full speed into the wall, okay? And this happens time and time again, whether it's in racing or in life. You end up focusing on what you don't actually want to have happen. And it's so subtle. There's so much subconscious stuff to this where you will think you're focused on what you want. You might even have a dream board. You might have a vision. You might say, yeah, I want to have the best wife. I have a 10 wife and my kids are happy and thriving and I'm healthy and I live to a long age and I make millions of dollars every single month. But in reality, because your foundation isn't clear, on an unconscious level, you're not programmed for it. You're not processing it. You're like a computer that's out of date and you got viruses and stuff on you. You're actually focusing on and putting energy towards what you don't want to have happen. Hence, you hit the wall. Okay? So, I don't want that for you. You don't want that for you. But nonetheless, that's what happens. All right? If it was easy to stay focused and it was easy to succeed, everyone would be multimillionaires. It's a lot of effort and a lot of diligence that's required and a lot of time spent under pressure to make it work. Okay? But here's the other part. That none of the other goal setters, none of the other people, the motivational gurus and all of them, they won't tell you this because most of them don't know this. A lot of them, frankly, all of them were pre-programmed to be successful. What I mean by that is there's a lot of nuance here. Some people like Larry Ellison, he's a billionaire. I think he's still 8th richest man in the world according to Forbes. He runs Oracle. He was born in like South Side of Chicago. Didn't have a good upbringing, rough upbringing. Nonetheless, he still had the right pre-programming to get into that position. He was extremely charismatic, didn't feel much fear, very good at talking to people, very good at getting things done, okay? So he got into that position because where does the average kid from the South Side of Chicago end up? Are they a billionaire, top 10 in the world? No, there's a system in place that most people don't see. It's an invisible force running all of our lives. There's a system. You can influence it. You can figure out ways to hack into it. But my point is, how about for the average person that didn't get lucky and win the lottery, quote unquote, like a Larry Ellison, is you have different things. So if we're with the analogy of the race car, your race car got programmed, it got built, it got set up primarily in your childhood when you weren't the one directing it. And the people around you and the situations around you and different things that unfold, and if you went to school or you went to camp or whatever, those influences molded you into who you are today. Here's the thing, that got you to here, but is that really what's going to get you to the next level? So you could really mean it. You could really say, I'm focused on my goals, man. I focus on it every day. But you don't realize all the different subconscious things under the hood, so to speak, or built into the car where you're actually set up to fall apart in 2 laps from now. Okay? This is a very important point because I kept looping for myself. I kept time looping where I could never fully break through, specifically in terms of money and specifically in terms of relationships, as well as my ability to support other people at scale. I was good at being a good friend, but what does that really mean? I was good at making people feel good, but did it last? No. So I had to actually re-engineer myself like you'd re-engineer a race car, right? And I did that very specifically with certain tools. I talk about them often. One of them being something called Technotutor, another being a process called self-forgiveness writing. Really understanding words at a unconscious level, really rebuilding how I see things, reshaping my belief systems, affirmations. A lot of people do those. Those rarely work. The only way they would work is if you're already pre-programmed for the thing. So you can say the affirmation, because what really counts isn't the conscious thought. It's the unconscious or the automatic thought. What really counts isn't you in the race car going, okay, well, I'm going to see that exact point and I'm going to go there. That's a very slow way of thinking. Rather, it's that muscle memory. It's you bringing it all together. It's the automated patterns. It's you having studied it and done it time and time again for time after time, but also having your car and your setup engineered properly. And that, my friends, is how you can now really focus. So even for those of you who are in this process, and you're doing this every day and you're working on yourself and you're actually restructuring, reprogramming how you see the world, what level of responsibility you can take on. You're building new habits, seeing real change, real lasting change. Nonetheless, you still have this wonderful thing as a human, and it's called your intention, your ability to focus. It's really who you are underneath there as the human being within your body, your ability to go out and focus. And that is very powerful. And so my suggestion, the purpose of this video is for you to now look at as this focus, as this ability to create your reality and influence your reality. you got to look at, there's three words here. There's created, creator, and creation. Created, creator, creation. This is so important. I would write this down because what's been created wasn't fully you. You had been created by your environment. If you really sit down with real self-honesty and you look at it, you were created and molded into who you are. Like, you might have these beliefs. You're like die hard. You're like, I am a Christian forever. I will be a Christian. But if you're born into a Muslim family in a primarily Muslim country, you would have been Muslim, right? So you were created by your environment. You were created by your parents. And so we have to be really brutally honest with ourselves that we have been influenced, okay? And if you're not willing to be brutally honest with yourself, don't watch my channel, don't reach out to me. You're not the kind of person that I'm even making this for. Because someone that's that hard-headed and closed up, you're not gonna get any benefit from it. However, when you can realize the fact that, okay, you were created, and you can now take inventory of yourself, you can get this little slice of it, at least if you write on paper. The real way to go deep on this is Technotube. That's been phenomenal, game changer, 100%. So now you've been created a certain way. But now here's this other cool thing. You have the potential to be a creator. You have to have the right tools and the right ability to do that because, again, consciously focusing on who you want to be is a little sliver of a percentage. The real thing is the automated patterns within you. Why at certain times of the year or when you're around certain people or you're in a certain amount of pressure or stress, that pressing in on you, that then brings out the real stuff. So you might have your whole stuff together, but then when shit hits the fan, so to speak, right, that's who you see who you really are. That's where you have a moment to be a creator. But I don't know about you. I don't like living my life waiting to hit the wall and then have to rebuild. I like to be able to rebuild and reformulate moment after moment. So that's you as the creator. And then the creation, that's what we're all doing together. For any of you who think that you're in subjective reality and your thoughts create reality and it's just you in your own little bubble, you should get help because that's not how reality works. Because if you had this belief of, oh, well, I just create my reality. Okay, well, just stop breathing. Just create the belief that you don't have to breathe. See, you'll realize it's actually foolish, right? There's certain objective parts of reality. There's objective laws. And your individual opinion of it has an influence, but it's not the way you think it is. That's another time for another video. You could be like, hey, let me just turn off this YouTube video with my mind. If your mind is all powerful. It doesn't work like that. There's certain physical laws. So as us, where we have been created, and the past is what is created, it's here, right now, right here, right now. And then you're a creator. Then we move forward into the creation. And my suggestion to you would be, let's really start to work together so we can have our creation be something amazing. Because there are certain things happening in the world right now that are automated, such as how surveillance systems are being installed in everyone's home through the form of Alexa or Google Home or Ring systems, right? There's something called social credit system. See, this video might even get flagged because I'm saying these things, which is in itself should be a red flag to you. But there's certain things that are automated right now that have already been created and they're unfolding. So you, the creator within here, that's watching this video, that can hear the common sense of what I'm saying, wake up. Let's connect. Because if you can hear the obviousness of what I'm saying, that you can also be a creator. Yes, there's stuff you have to work through, and I can support you with different tools and stuff that I've seen work wonders in people's lives. That kind of thing is required now because we're entering a phase of humanity where AI, automation, all of these things are happening at record-breaking speed. And the experts are saying within 15 years, over 70% of the jobs are going to be gone. Okay, I want to be prepared for that. I will be prepared for it. Myself and my colleagues are prepared for it. And I am focused on the road to this analogy of the race car. I'm focused on the road. That's why I'm making this video. So for you, where are you looking at the wall? Where are you hitting the wall? Where are you not even up to speed and you're still spinning your wheels? You're stuck in neutral right now. Let's get you engaged, fully going, full speed ahead, on the road, focused, fearless, able to handle whatever comes up, okay? So that is my open invitation to you. If you can hear the common sense of this, you want to have discussions, or even if we've chatted before, I know I've chatted with many of you. Let's reconnect because now we're entering a new year at a time. You might watch this 5 years from now. If you're very determined, you can find a way to get a hold of me, okay? I'm looking forward to that because we just had a son, my wife and I, we got a family. I'm focused on creating a better world for him and for everyone. I look at every kid in the world as my son. I realize I don't emotionally have the empathy where that's even possible to handle, how many billions of kids there are. But nonetheless, the principle remains true. I see myself in everyone, and I suggest you do the same, because you are me in another life, hence me making this video, hence me focusing on what I'm here to do. And I think you should get involved, because it's amazing. So looking forward to seeing you in the next videos. Check out my channel, subscribe, leave a comment, reach out. If you find this valuable, I don't charge for any of this stuff. You know, it's like, I do this because I care. If you found value in this, please share this with someone who's looking for common sense, obvious answers. You see the world's messed up and you want solutions. We got plenty of solutions. We got Self-Perfected, the best Facebook group out there. We got events happening in the new year. We got hangouts online, in person, clubhouses in a city near you. There's a lot of ways to get involved, because I'm not the only one with this message. I'm just one of many. And we're Morpheuses looking for more Morpheuses, if you get the reference, right? It's not about you being Neo. It's about you being the guide showing other people the way. But you got to take the red pill first. And I'm talking about the real red pill, not whatever Tate or the dating guys are saying. The real red pill is waking up to reality, realizing you can actually be creator of it. And we have the exact steps out. All right, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.